There are so many unique places in Appalachia. So often they have the strangest things happen during the night with no explanation of why. The Millennium Manor Castle in Alcoa, Tennessee is no different. This historic 1930s stone building has some of the strangest things happen so often late at night. Appalachia, the mountains are like no other. From its rigid terrain, beautiful wildlife, to the people that live their lives here, to the strange, unexplained stories that folks share. Join me while I share this amazing place, one story at a time. The Millennium Manor Castle is a stone-built building started in 1937, completed in 1946. It has 2 stories. At night, passers-by report seeing candlelight coming from inside the windows, though not a soul is there. There are reports of hearing hammers and chisels carving stone and nailing nails as if someone was constructing something. Yet again, not a soul was there. It's also been reported that the apparitions of a small, slender man and woman is seen traversing the property and passing by the windows. Why is this happening? What happened here? And who built this place? Where did it come from? Diving into the history of this beautiful place shows that William Nichols and his wife Fair were responsible for the unique place. They moved to Alcoa in 1937 from Pickens County, Georgia, where William was a mason and a carpenter. William took a job at the Alcoa plant while workers were on strike. He was 61 years old at the time. Mr. and Mrs. Nichols didn't belong to a local church in Alcoa, but they were very religious, and they believed every word of Revelations chapter 20, verse 6. And it reads, "Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. Over such the second death has no power. But thou shalt be priest of God and Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years." With this, the two wanted to build a home that could survive hundreds of years, especially the Armageddon or the coming of Christ. William and Fair decided to use the Roman architecture techniques, and they used pink marble from Friendsville, Tennessee. William made a form from wood and tarp, then stacked the stones atop of them. He did this all by hand, not using a single machine. He poured the cement over the stacked marble stone. The cement hardened the rubber tarp, and wrinkles can be seen inside the ceiling, even today. The place took 4,000 bags of cement, and in some places he used lime rather than sand. The thinnest inside wall is 19 inches thick. The thinnest part of the outer wall is 25 inches thick. And the roof is from 3 feet to 4 feet thick. This immaculate place has 14 rooms and a 2-car underground garage. And the place has a 6-story deep well to use for water. Unfortunately, in 1943, the road that passed in front of the place was widened, and William was forced to remove the entire front wall facing the street. He would move it back 6 feet when he rebuilt it. William and Fair truly believed that as long as they worked on the castle, they would never die, becoming immortal. In 1950, Fair found out this was further from the truth. She would die of cancer at the age of 72 after 50 years of marriage to William. At her funeral, William told folks that the only reason Fair died was she doubted and had unbelief that she would live forever while working on the Manor Castle. But in 1965, William would find out the sad truth as well. He became almost deaf and blind. At the age of 88, he too would pass. And he was buried in the Clark Grove Cemetery by Fair's side. The two had 10 children, but they abandoned the Millennium Manor Castle. Vandals would soon break in and steal or break everything. Juanita Shaw purchased the place, using it as a meeting spot. But then it would soon be auctioned off for $39,000. The man who purchased it began renovating the place, restoring it to its former beauty. It is now a private residence, but once a year the man gives a tour of the place. And in 2020, the castle was finally placed on the National Register of Historic Places. So it seems that the Nicholsons still roam the place, overseeing it as they did when they were very much alive. Well, folks, I want to thank you for sitting and listening to the haunted history of the Millennium Manor Castle in Alcoa, Tennessee. Well, I appreciate you listening. I love you to pieces. And I'll see you next time.